Hey guys, it's Houndx here. Today we're going to be looking at the Asus ROG Strix, aka the laptop that glows. Now there's two variants about this laptop, the G15, which is a 15-inch screen, and the 17-inch screen version, which is the G17. I have the 17-inch screen model. I'd also like to give a special thanks to my friend for lending this laptop to me. It's technically his laptop. I don't actually own this one that I have in this video. However, I was able to run some benchmarks and get into detail. But before we get into the review, be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'd like to thank all of you guys for helping me reach 300 subscribers just a few days ago. I'd also like to thank everyone who left a like on my video and commented down something nice. It really does mean a lot to me, guys, and I haven't really said this in a while. Don't forget to subscribe and join the Hound community, and yeah, let's get right into the video. Alright, so first thing, build quality and design. The display area is made of plastic. There's no flex on display. So hinge, it's basically the same thing as last year. Last year's model was great on the display, like part 1 is opening up. So this year's is probably the same, if not better. It's also the same as those electropunk models. Now my favorite part about this laptop is obviously the RGB lighting. Now the reason for this is because you don't normally expect to get like an RGB lighting or surrounding laptop at this price range, especially $900 at the base model, and the RGB lighting is brighter than you think. It was actually brighter than I thought in the first place. The keyboard on this laptop is also backlit with RGB. You can also adjust the RGB lighting surrounding the laptop and the RGB lighting on the keyboard within the Asus ROG software, or whatever that's called. And there's a ton of effects you can do, like they're pretty cool. Another cool thing about this laptop is when you insert the ROG keystone, it makes this nice cool sound. Also, this is what it sounds like to type on this keyboard. Just as a quick note, I do not have the base model. It's actually the $1,400 model if you're just curious. Performance on this machine is good. The laptop is running a Core i7-9750H with an RTX 2070. It's just the regular RTX 2070, not the Max Q version, so it is going to be more powerful. The display is running a 240Hz panel. Colors are not the most accurate I've ever seen. In fact, I think they're not as good as the Lenovo Legion 5 that I reviewed like several weeks ago. If you want to check that video out, I'll leave it in the description below in cards. However, they're not as bad as the Acer Nitro 5 or the Dell G3, but I wouldn't recommend this as the #1 choice for content creators. So if your main focus on buying this laptop is for gaming, then this is an excellent choice if you don't mind the color accuracy. Since we're running an RTX 2070, which is a pretty high-end GPU, I was able to push high frame rates in AAA titles, and I was able to take advantage of that high 240Hz refresh rate. Although the CPU, which is a Core i7-9750H, is only a 6-core processor, gaming doesn't really use any more than that. However, my one caveat about the CPU is that I don't think it's enough for content creation. I would recommend a sweet spot of 8 cores for content creation like video editing, Photoshop, and be able to multitask. However, this laptop doesn't have that ability. It is still possible, but it won't be a very enjoyable experience as if you were to have an 8-core processor like the Lenovo Legion 5, which has a Ryzen 7 4000H 8-core and 16-thread processor. The CPU was a bit disappointing, and it's significantly slower and less powerful than the Ryzen 7 4000H in the Lenovo Legion, which you can get for like $400 less. And I was expecting something more powerful, considering that we're literally in a $1,400 price range. However, the GPU is what powers the laptop's performance, and that's basically what gives you high frame rates in games when using this laptop. There's also different performance modes on this laptop which you can adjust yourself within the Asus ROG software, and you can also switch by using hotkeys on the keyboard. The turbo performance mode actually overclocks your CPU and GPU, giving you some extra boost in performance when playing games. Just make sure to turn it off when you're done, as fans will immediately start whirring on as soon as the mode is enabled. I do not like the thermals. They can get pretty hot. The laptop, it can feel pretty hot at some times when you're playing very intensive games or you're doing intensive tasks like rendering a video. They can get up to 90 degrees Celsius. The fans can get really loud, especially if you use like the turbo boost mode, which overclocks your CPU and GPU temporarily when you're using it. I wasn't experiencing any thermal throttling, as I was able to crank up the fans manually with the ROG software, which is pretty good. But I just don't like the thermals because they just get pretty hot and the fans are too loud, and that's probably because the GPU is pretty powerful and it's not the max Q'd version. But if you're wearing headphones while you're playing games, you won't really be able to hear the fan noise that much, so you're going to be completely fine if you do that. Aside from the thermals, I can basically live with that trade-off because we are getting a better GPU. It's not as bad as like the old Dell G5, which had a lot of thermal throttling, so I can basically live with this kind of trade-off. By the way, while I was editing this video, I completely forgot to mention that you can also crank up the fans, adjust the fan speed, change the performance mode within the Asus ROG app, which you can download on your phone, iOS or Android. You just have to pair up the laptop with the app in a few easy steps. So ports on this laptop is a bit odd. On the right side, there's basically nothing except for the slot where you insert the ROG keystone, and on the left side, there's 3 USB-A ports. However, I do wish that they were spaced out more, because if you have a dongle or an adapter, then it will actually cover the adjacent USB ports. Now on the back, there's an Ethernet port and HDMI port. There's a USB-C port, which unfortunately does not support Thunderbolt, and the port where you plug in the charger. By the way, when you plug in the charger, the laptop glows like this. Battery life on this laptop is pretty average. I haven't been able to test the exact amount since this is my friend's laptop, but as far as I can see, when I unplug the cord, it's draining like an average gaming laptop compared to like other laptops I've reviewed in the past. Depending on which model you're getting for this laptop, the size of the charger can vary. I have the high-end version of this model, so it's pretty big, but if you get like the base model, it might be smaller. Alright, so is this laptop really worth it? And who exactly is this laptop for? Now, I'll only say that this laptop is worth it for those who have a primarily focus on gaming. I wouldn't really recommend this laptop to content creators, as I don't think it's the best choice, as it does lack on color accuracy when it comes to display. However, if you do want to find a laptop that is good for content creation, I would recommend you checking out the Lenovo Legion 5, which I've made a review on a couple weeks ago, so I'll drop a link to that video in the description below and in the cards if you want to check that out. But like I said before, this laptop delivers a ton of performance for gaming, and although the CPU only has 6 cores, that's really all you need for gaming. I would only say you have to step up to 8 cores if you're going to do content creation. Although the fans can get pretty loud when you start a game, it won't really be much of a problem anyway, because most of you guys probably play games wearing headphones since you want to be aware of what's going around you. Overall, I think this is a great gaming laptop, and I think most of you guys are going to enjoy this. That's basically it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.